me with nothing to say. You already knew I would come searching anyway. So I sailed across the sea to see if you were there waiting for me, but you were not. So I sailed back with a broken heart. I waited till 3 to see if you would come looking for me, but you did not. So I fell asleep with a broken heart.
What's up?
Hey.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to our living room. How you like our lamp?
Kind of like my hat.
Hey, this is T-Bone. This is Recovery Room. We've got Christy over here and the Minister.
Minister Sean in the house.
In the house.
What's up?
Hey guys, if you got that nice lean on that lamp too. It's nice and a little lean. Anyway, I'm kidding.
Earthquake!
I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding.
It was like a lean with it, rock with it.
Yeah,
you had to go all the way.
Roll with it. This is the Recovery Room. We talk about things related to recovery, prevention, treatment, wellness,
Resources.
experiences. Is this what people are seeing, Don?
No, I'm not even showing
No,
us
you're
online.
not on. I don't know if you're on YouTube, but you're not on Facebook.
We are not on Facebook.
No.
It's on YouTube, so keep going.
All right, so it's
Okay.
on YouTube, so keep
Yeah, it
going.
is.
Hi, you YouTube fans. We want to get to you guys, by the way. If you got any other YouTube fans that would be perfect for the Recovery Room, tell them to tune in, have them subscribe, or whatever the case may be. There's that doggone lamp getting fixed.
Is it the lampshade
I
or
feel
my
better.
head?
No, it was. Ooh.
Not too much to ask.
Anyway, guys, I'm going to want to let you know that I've been thinking about you all day long, and it's kind of like could we get Sean in frame every day? He's way out of frame over here.
I sit in the same spot.
Yeah, and he sits in the same. Not like he moves over anything. Now she's out because could we? Hi. Come out, pull out. Wait, no.
Whoa,
Hey,
whoa.
that's beautiful.
Different show.
That's such a beautiful shot. Well, kinda.
Thank you, Mr. Director.
Yes. You know I can't help myself.
You sure can.
I got the corona. I've got the corona thing going on over here. And Sean said I got extra padding these days, and that's cool.
Insulation,
Insulation, padding, call it what you want. It's called corona.
padding. So on YouTube, it's just Recovery Room SRQ.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Give us a little while, guys, to get it all together. To just, it's just Tuesday, right? Is it Tuesday?
Yep.
All right. So it's Taco Tuesday, and we're having tacos right now.
Are we now?
Let's see what's happening on YouTube. Wow, it's an old thing I haven't seen in a while.
Bitch, come on.
Come on, he cries. Let's see. Here we go. My channel. Hey, we're live. Hey,
Which one?
on the
Yeah,
Recovery
really,
Room, but it says 4/28/2020.
Twin?
On
That would be
YouTube.
today, right? YouTubers. Waiting.
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Wait.
Bueller. I don't know. You know what happens? Tuesdays. It's that doggone Tuesday. It happens every Tuesday. Technical difficulty Tuesday. That's what we'll call it. Yeah. But that's okay, because you know what? The reality of the situation is that if we're being seen anywhere right now, we want to take a moment and be real serious. That we really care about you guys that are really that are out there. You're actively in addiction, because that struggle is so real, and I know that right now that struggle has gotten even more intense. It's gotten even more difficult. I can only tell you that I have been there, and I have done that. And the reality of the situation is, I know I'm not trying to say to you for 1 second that it's easy, because it's just not. Okay, but I gotta tell you, the reason that we're here is because I need to tell you that it's worth it. It's worth it. Whatever pain you got to go through, whatever suffering, whatever aches and pains and nausea and vomiting and whatever it is, diarrhea, it is worth it.
Now we're on Facebook.
Okay, hey Facebook gang, good morning, afternoon, evening. We've been here for a while on YouTube, and so we just got around to y'all. It's not like you're less important or anything. Don't get me wrong.
It's Technical Tuesday.
It's just Technical Tuesday.
There you go.
And we're good with that. We got an offer to go into a big old studio. I don't know if we're gonna take it or not. We might want to just stay right here. That was a joke, by the way.
I didn't know what the heck you were talking about.
I was actually just free association, because I got this big dream of somebody inviting us into a big elaborate studios with lights and cameras and boards and all kind of stuff, just because our message is pertinent and needs to be heard by a broader audience in a very cool setting with like lamps. Oh, over here. They moved the lamp. It was over here.
You all have a good day.
Yeah. So, Minister Sean, how was your day?
My day was very relaxing in the pool. Got some sun.
He did.
Very
It looks
cool.
good.
Yeah, the lights do you justice. Good. And got some exercise, I'm assuming?
A little exercise. The dogs pooped out.
All right. Yeah, that's always a plus. Well, you see, the thing is, guys, the reason that I asked that question is because I know how Sean's day went. And what I want to say to you is that, in all sincerity, is that when you look at Sean, you see, this is like how you see life. When you look at Sean, you see a guy is here. He's here every show, and he's participating. He's got a great sense of humor. Looks good and looks healthy, and he's a guy that has a real liver problem that he needs to have his liver transplanted, replaced. But it doesn't stop him from enjoying his day. And for you guys that are out there and you're actively addicted, you don't get that opportunity, because the majority of your day is filled with concern about your habit. And that's a horrible, horrible place to be. I know. I'm not talking about what somebody told me in a book. I'm not talking about, something I heard on the news. I'm talking about active. I'm talking about strung out. I'm talking about life controlled. Been there, done that. And I got to say to you, the only reason I'm here, the only reason that we are here is because I don't have the answer for you. It's not because we're so smart. The only reason that we're here is because we care, and that we want to say to you, hey, man, I did it, and so can you. We're not trying to be, therapists or counselors or none of that stuff. We're some people that just care and want to come on here and try to say our slogan, be supportive. I used to be a hopeless dope fiend, but now I'm a dopeless hope fiend. A hope dealer, and we want a bunch of hope dealers to join us here. We want to create a community of hope. We want to create hope communities or kindness communities, because that's what's happening right now, right? And see, the worst thing in life is to see something and not recognize it. Because what is happening right now, what this whole corona thing is designed to show us that, hey guys, you're in this thing together. Okay, and you should treat each other as such, not just during the corona, but post-corona, which if there's ever going to be such a thing, because they could break out corona tomorrow. See, that's the thing they got us on. See, they can say, oh, corona's back, and there he goes, ah. You know? But the reality is that, you know, people are being kind. People are picking up food and delivering it to people who are shut in and doing all kinds of you know, taking and washing people's, whatever it is. People are doing kind acts, and we always have that in emergencies, in hurricanes, in you know, earthquakes and all that. But what the difference with this one is that those things are isolated incidents that happen somewhere. You know, like Katrina was somewhere, you know, whatever, the earthquakes, the fires, they're somewhere. But this one is everywhere.
Very true.
You know, this is the great panacea, I'd like to call it. This is a thing that has affected and changed everything, changed all the perspectives on everything, to the point that what you here's my food for thought for today. Then we'll get into today's subject matter. My food for thought today is about how persuasive Corona is and how effective it is in changing everything right now, because the African American population and lower socioeconomic level population is more susceptible to deaths and spreading the corona. Those communities now have to have a special focus and special emphasis on them to keep them healthy. That's been the problem all along. They couldn't get any doggone health care. Couldn't get, we you know, had to use the emergency room as our primary care physician. Now this thing has flipped all around to where those people are now going to start getting the best care. That's my thought. That's my food for thought for you on that one. Just wanted to toss that one out there just for a second. Don Dean, if I'm gonna kill him one day. One of these days, I'm gonna bring a gun here and I'm gonna shoot him.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Well, I said it on camera. Now I can't do it, dog.
I'm gonna turn this off.
Oh!
I'm gonna turn it off.
He's gonna turn it off for me. I'm sorry,
You
Don.
make my hair look
Thank you. I didn't want to
horrible.
break a train of thought. Continue.
I'm sorry, Donald. Yeah, but don't change the camera on me while I'm looking at myself.
Don't do
Oh.
that.
Don't look at yourself.
You're talking.
Don't look at yourself. Look up here. Anyway, so it's changed everything. Okay, it's changed everything. But let's keep it that way. Okay, let's not have it just because of this time in you know, in history. This crazy time where we've got two medical emergencies dumped on top of each other. One that has been killing people now since 2000, all time, but really since the beginning of like 2000 and 2001, when the opioid, the oxys and the Percocets and the Roxys and all those things hit the market, has been killing people since then. I know so many people, young people, old people, who went to sleep and never woke up because they took one too many oxys. They was feeling it, and so they took another one.
And that's,
Went to sleep, never woke up.
and that started before the whole IV trait
Oh,
came in.
man.
And
Yeah,
then
with the
once that
pills
came
at
in
least.
With, you know, the Dilaudid and then the other, and the fentanyl and
Let me
Once
tell
that
you
came in,
a
it
little
doubled,
story about
tripled.
Dilaudid that I heard, right? I didn't do it, but here's because I've been in this for a while. Here's a little story I heard about Dilaudid. You know what they do with Dilaudid? They take Dilaudid and they crush it up, and then you take some crack and you put it in the thing and you mix it with lemon juice.
to kill the bacon
You
powder.
mix it with lemon juice to kill the bacon powder and dissolve the thing into its form to inject it, and then you inject that into your system. This is what I'm saying. This is how baffling, insidious, and crazy this thing is. And then for you guys, I ask you every day, how do you see life, right? How do you see life? Do you see yourself injecting lemon juice into your system? Is that normal? That's a serious question.
At least it ain't Clorox.
Oh my God, Clorox. He had to go there. He said nothing. Look over here. Look at him. He ain't say nothing. He just got that Trumpish. He's
I
got that
got-
Trumpish grin.
I got some pool bleach for you guys.
He wanted to say something.
No, he just held that
You're
Trumpish
sleeping in the
grin.
living room and I'm locking the door.
Okay.
Hey, if you're dumb enough to eat Tide Pods,
Yeah, you're the one.
Just stay home
You're the
and
one.
keep
No,
eating.
keep eating them and then don't. See, there is this thing called population control, right? You don't know this, but they do it every day, and this is not a conspiracy. If you ever see those planes flying over the sky, up in the sky, and they're leaving this trail behind them, that's population control. That's chemicals that they're dropping that come down, and they affect the.
Really?
It's a conspiracy theory.
It is.
No, but this one though, people, and if not this, what we got to be realistic about is that the world naturally selects people. I mean, it just really does, and so if it's called survival of the fittest, and if you're not one, you're gonna perish, and so that someone else can live. I mean, that's why we got so many genetically modified products these days. I mean, it's because we don't have enough resources to feed 8 billion people. And so if we got to lose a few to save a few, I think that's the way they look at it, whoever they are. So anyway, today's subject matter. Addicted to addiction. Panel, your
Yeah,
thoughts?
that's-
Addicted to addiction?
It makes sense. After you've been using for long enough, you figure you've got that addictive mentality that you're addicted to being addicted.
And this all stems from a phone call I had. Actually, it started a couple days ago, and then last night it kind of came to a head, talking with somebody, a friend of mine, and her baby's daddy has a serious problem with drinking, but doesn't think he has a drinking problem just because he, lost his driver's license got a DUI, lost his job because of the choices he made from drinking. Now he has his own son spending his school money to buy him an 18-pack every day. But whoa, I don't have a problem. So you guys have a problem. And that's the problem within itself. And hoping that that he calls in.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah. What number is he going to call in
I
on?
have my phone number. So.
Oh, he's okay. Yeah, we got Sean's phone number. Call him because we need to talk about this because we always talk about it, right? We say on a daily basis that in addiction, the storm is not your own, And this young man, how old is the son?
Early 20s.
So the son is early 20s. The father is obviously then like 40 something.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's feeling that weight and responsibility and guilt and to every day to provide.
Yeah, be there for his dad, and so here we go. We got to know the whole story. I mean, that's the thing. We can't assume anything. Is there what was the relationship as growing up? Was it a loving father-son relationship? Was there some trauma? Was there some drama? Was there some other instances of addiction and enabling and all that? Because I don't think this just starts when the alcohol makes it necessary for the kid to buy the father some stuff. Somebody's been covering for somebody, I think, and that's become a habit because that's the addiction to addiction.
The codependency and that just feeling of, I'm gonna take care of you. That comes with some weight. You've been through something. Would be my opinion.
Well, most addictions are based on specifically that. They are based on some trauma, and they tend to say that it's like trauma that happens in childhood. But I think that there's also trauma that happens in adulthood. You can have a really great childhood and then get into an adult situation that is abusive, verbally or physically or emotionally or whatever the case might be, and it can have the same effect. And especially if you ever get out of that relationship and then find yourself in another relationship, you are still kind of addicted to that behavior. It's like Stockholm syndrome. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember Patty Hearst. But Patty Hearst was the daughter of William Randolph Hearst, who the family owns the USA Today magazine, but they've always been in publishing. And she was kidnapped back in the day by the Symbionese Liberation Army. And the next thing that covered is all the news. It was like, oh, they got Patty! Oh no! And then next thing you know, she shows up with a machine gun and in a picture, and she's with them as part of the team. And they call that Stockholm syndrome, where you take on the attributes of your captor. And so that's what they claimed that she had. I think she just really liked hanging out with the brother, but that's just another story.
Don't we all?
That's just another story altogether. But anyway, but see, we treat people, we teach people how to treat us.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's just the bottom line. So this young man has been taught this, and it's unfortunate, because you know the other thing that's going to happen is that at some point or another, something's going to happen to one of the two, and the other one's going to say, what could I have done differently? That's just normally how it works, right? And they'll be like, oh, what can I have done differently? You know, start thinking about that now. Start doing it differently now.
Well, and the dad isn't. He's like, oh well, he doesn't drink and drive anymore. He Ubers everywhere because that's the solution to fixing the problem.
Right.
Well,
So
I mean,
he-
luckily, thank God he's not out there drunk driving, but
So he's not changing himself or his behavior, but he's
changing his method of delivery.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
He's arranging his lifestyle to suit his habit,
Yeah.
or to sustain his habit. That's gotta get expensive.
Addicted to addiction. I know. I've been addicted to a couple of drugs that did. Part of the addiction is the addiction. Part of the addiction are the what do you call it? The procedures that go along with getting high.
It's a usage.
You know, it is that getting high when you first think about getting high. You already get high. You know that? When you start thinking about getting high, your brain automatically, you're high already. Okay? And then you have the thrill, because we're all thrill seekers, all of us addicts. Ooh, we're thrill seekers, you know, we like the sense of adventure. You have that. It's consciousness. You've got the calling the dude, you know. And whether he's going to answer, like ring, 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 you're on the phone. Ooh, answer the phone.
That's when
Answer
you're
the
waiting
phone.
that 20 minutes because it's only supposed to take them 20 minutes to get
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And you've got everything out and prepped and ready.
Oh,
and
man, you're ready
you
to
were
go.
Just ready to.
Blast off or whatever it is you're going to do, you know. And that procedure is part of the whole addiction.
Well, it's the same thing with relapse. You know, you mentally relapse before you physically relapse
Oh,
because your head's
absolutely.
already gone there. It's the
Oh, yeah.
same as like
You're
your
already
head's
high.
already kind of in the high before your dope gets there. It's a very mental process.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I'm praying for your friend, because you know we in this whole conversation we haven't talked about her. Is that off? What about her? What is she going through?
She's going through the because she just found out when she got hold of the bank records for her son, and she's happy that the father's in the son's life now because the father wasn't there. But now the father's he's only there to get the free alcohol.
Okay, so they're not together,
No,
and the son now is establishing. Now, how long has it been since they've established this relationship?
she, like I said, she just found out about this like within the past 2 days, so she's still putting the puzzle together, so to speak.
Right.
But
Could I pull out a little bit, Don, please?
Could you not make my head look so damn big?
Yeah, too many requests.
Everybody's
Yeah, too many requests. Never mind. So go ahead.
So she's still just finding out about the whole thing, but her concern is that the only relationship that the son has with the father is a
That's
drinking.
good, thank you.
Is a drinking relationship. Doesn't have like a typical
So they
father-son
didn't grow
thing.
up together. I mean, he
No,
wasn't in the
just
household.
really wasn't there. No.
Okay. Been an alcoholic the whole time.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, this is one that we gotta go for some real hope on. We gotta put some real prayers out for these people, because here's what I believe. I believe that at the end of the day, if the relationship is being forged and established, then there is a possibility for it to turn into a good relationship. Okay? It may start out hellacious like it is, but I think that it has the opportunity to turn into a good relationship, and that's what we want to hope for them. And that's what if we get a chance to talk to them, if they're hearing what we're saying, it's like don't get caught up in what this relationship looks like right now. Start thinking about what you'd like for it to look like, and that's for everybody. You know what I mean? Maybe the son, can get something out of it, where he decides that maybe he's not going to be this enabler, and demands that his dad get some help, and be that catalyst for that. Maybe the dad will say, no, I'm not getting any help, and the son will say, well, then I can't continue to do this, and that relationship will be resolved as a result. It's like, which one do you choose? Do you choose the alcohol, or do you choose our relationship? Or what is our relationship really about? Maybe mom now can step in.
It's got to come to a head somewhere.
It's got to come. Yeah, it's got to. Well, it's got to be. It's got to be confronted. It's got to be dealt with. The whole thing about the addiction is that they linger on for so long. They linger on for so long because every day, I mean, we kind of get caught up in these patterns and everything that we do in this life, right? Again, viva Corona, because that's what Corona has done. It has stopped. It breaks on. Everybody from you're caught up in this whole gerbil wheel type thing, where you're spinning your wheels every day. You get in your car and you jump and you go to the same place, and you were pissed about being there. Now you're not there, and you're pissed about not being there.
Yeah, but then you also wonder about the apple not falling too far from the tree. So
yes,
when that 20-year-old, when he goes ahead and has a family as his own,
right?
Is he gonna,
right. It is a family disease.
It's where can you stop the cycle?
Yeah, where do you stop the cycle?
And I'm working on it with my own kids. Good Lord, I definitely don't want them going. Where can you stop that
right.
just
and
line of destruction
and in your case,
damage?
and like this person's case, because it's probably going to be the dad that's going to probably unfortunately have some sort of liver or some other kind of deal that happens to him, that your eureka, the light bulbs go on, and now it's time to live healthy and love everybody. You know what I mean? Sometimes it does take a collision with calamity. That's our new song, Don. A collision with calamity.
And learn it the hard way.
Woo woo!
Didn't get it right the first time. Let's go for the fifth. If I didn't mess it up the first, I'm gonna make sure I did it the fifth.
Yeah, I mean, and this is just one of them clear prime examples, is that this thing has so many faces. This thing called addiction, it has so many faces, And Don, just for future references, we got this is called a hair. Well, never mind. We'll talk about it later. It looks good though, right? A little hairline light, right? Sean needs a little.
No, I was thinking it's like a thought process overhead, like the lights on.
Yeah.
Oh, great! Now you're gonna expect something brilliant to come out. I gotta think about that.
No, I know you.
Oh! Don't do it on the table.
I know where you sleep, and I normally feed you.
Oh!
And I put your med box together.
Damn, all these, it's just like racquetball over here. Some tennis, ping pong. Anyhow, if nobody's told you that they love you today,
we love you guys.
We love you guys, and that's for real. I mean, that just ain't for play. Because the thing about love, the more love you give, the more love you get. And I'm fortunate to be, and I'm praying for a whole bunch of you guys. I'm fortunate enough to have been coroned with these particular people. Okay, because. Yeah, look at that look.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
I couldn't see that over my computer. Come on, say that again. Let's see.
No, but seriously though, I mean, because these are those times, that try men's souls on one level, but also that sets them afire, that sets them on a different course. You know what I mean? And that's what we're praying for and hoping for everybody that's caught in this coronavirus around the world, is that it gives you the opportunity to find that thing that sets your heart and your soul on fire, and you go and you find a purpose and a passion, and you find something that you can do, that you would do for free, that you can actually make some money at, because that way you'll never work a day in your life if you do what you love. You know what I mean? And I'm fortunate to have survived. I'm sitting here telling you that I'm fortunate to have survived a long-term addiction, long-term and garbage head type addiction. I was an addict in this truest sense of the word. If it was there, I would try it. If we were there and somebody said, "Yo, T, we got this shit, wanna try it?" Yeah!
So you were like Mikey.
Yeah, Mikey. Oh, I was a
Mikey.
Mikey of drugs. Trust me. Trust me on that. Mescaline, all kinds of stuff. You know what's interesting? I started watching this, because I have watched stuff. I have never sat and watched stuff before in my life. I'm too busy making stuff and be sitting around watching stuff. I'm sitting around watching television during these corona times. And there was a series I said, oh, let me check it out, because it's hashtag Black AF. I guess that's Black is. You know what I mean? And it's a guy who created Blackish, and I guess Mixish, and some other stuff, and now he's ultra rich, and they're doing a thing on him. I guess it's his TV family, not his real family. But they delve into some crazy stuff. They were talking about doing like mollies. They were old people going to a young people party, and they did some mollies. And at the party, she was dancing and doing all the stuff, and he was like, they were like, "Oh, I love you so much," the whole Molly thing, right? But I thought that was very interesting. They put themselves out there like that, to say that that's what they do. But see, that's the thing about drugs. You can't look at a drug addict and know that's who they are. Oh yeah, if somebody's down and they all the way down at their bottom, yeah, they look like they might be drugged out. Yeah, but for that doctor or that lawyer or that guy who's always the life of the party and always got the stuff at the party and all that, they don't look that way, because they're on the road to getting there.
That soccer mom
who every day is doing martinis and Molly. I mean, and oxys.
Well, like a prime example, like if the people that know Dora,
Yeah.
you wouldn't.
Yeah, she was a perfect mom and perfect wife. You know.
I was one day too.
Yeah. I was Bill Cosby.
That means
Oh wait! Yeah, sorry, I forgot about that part. No, I'm talking about a really good TV dad. Is what.
Whew.
Explain, Lucy. No, I was a really good TV dad. That's supposed to be funny too.
No, I was just picturing you doing a black version of Fantasy Island.
Oh,
They're
they're
playing,
playing, boss. They're playing.
Yeah.
No, I had all the ugly sweaters and everything. For real. and was the dad on top of dads. I got the opportunity I can't explain why, but one year didn't work, and I had a daughter, and I got the opportunity to stay home for a whole year with my daughter. And you're talking about just love. That was a love fest, and nobody wanted to be a dad and a better dad than me. But I had an issue though. And it broke all that up. And to this day, I'm not one to regret, but I am one to be realistic and say that's what ruined my family.
Roxycodone ruined my family.
You know, alcohol and drugs. I'll tell you the truth. And I wasn't the Lone Ranger, but we won't get into all that. But the reality is that it's got three paths, right? And it's really kind of two. Well, you got three, because some people are smart enough to get out of it. That's the last one. That's the road less traveled. You know, because most people end up dead or in jail.
Or
you
the
know?
hospital. Yeah.
Yeah. Or some institution, you know, jail, hospital, rehab, whatever, an institution of some sort, okay? And that's just the reality. But some people, like me, and I'm not patting myself on the back, I feel like I'm blessed, like beyond measure, escaped. You know what I mean? I'm a 9%er. And a 9%er is, for you guys who are not regulars here on this show, because I tell you what a 9%er is every day. A 9%er is that individual who has gone into recovery and lasted a year or more without relapsing. Most people relapse within the first year. Most within the first 30 days of recovery. 91% of the people do that. They relapse within the first 30 days or within the first year. Only 9% of the people who ever go into recovery, it lasts a year or more. Those are horrible numbers, man.
Sadly, very true.
Those are some horrible numbers. And then when you factor in that this thing affects the people ages 19 to 54 the most. That is the most crucial time in life. That's life. You know? Because before that, you don't know what the heck you're doing. And during that, you're supposed to be raising a family and getting your career together. And then after that, you're back to wearing diapers again.
It's that dash.
It's that dash, man. So, I mean, these numbers are not made up, and I'm not a statistics guy, statistics, but sometimes it makes sense. You know, it's just like Corona, you know, the statistics. The one statistic you have never, and I don't know which newscast you watch, and if you did hear it at least more than once, that where they said, well, 500,000 people survived Corona. Today. You know? They didn't talk about that number. They're talking about fear and death. Let me tell you something, folks, just in case you didn't know. Headline, you're going to die anyway. Nobody gets out of this thing alive. Nobody. It's 100%, 10 out of 10. Go. Leave in here. Okay, so to use death as the fear mechanism is kind of crazy. I would be more, if they could scare me more, if they say that my face was going to twitch up or something, like I was going to get ugly.
I just had to like.
You mean
Oh,
yeah.
hey.
Hey.
I was going to get uglier. Now I'd be scared.
Or you just had to live like that.
Yeah,
with
you got to
some
live like
sort
this
of-
for 20 years. You can scare me with
Take
death?
that.
How you going to scare me with death?
You're going to sleep. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
Guys,
Stupid.
fear is what's happening here. And don't get caught up in the fear
anxiety
game.
and the
Anxiety and
mental-
stress. People are dying more from that than they are with corona.
And now the suicide rate is going up. The
This woman,
relapse
the
rate
doctor,
is
committed
crazy.
suicide.
It's please.
Yeah,
just,
because suppose the story was the doctor had the virus and was afraid to give it to other people. And
At the base of it.
but it weighed.
But she
that
worked and worked and
heavy.
worked and worked, and then she took a week off, then she came back and whatever.
It weighed that heavy on her that she.
And she
made
ain't
that
the only one.
decision.
She's the only one they put in the news.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's the bottom line on that. She's the only one that they put in the news. I mean, there are people dying every day. Guess what? There's a cemetery right about 100 yards from where we sit right now. Whole bunch of people in it too. Some people have been in it longer than others. Fear of death is a stupid thing, you know. But fear of life is a whole nother animal, you know.
Are you afraid to live or are you afraid
Yes.
to die? Like you
Yes.
know.
Which one? It seems like both.
Oh,
And if you don't.
I want to be here for my daughter. And,
Amen. That's life. That's living.
That's when you make the decision to live and not to die. When you're ready to, okay, I can't do this anymore. Okay, I'm tired of hurting myself. Okay, I read this one letter when it had a kid writing to his mom. Let me ask you a question. Where do you want to be buried? Do you want to be cremated? You know, because he knew his mom was going to OD again, and it is like a sad letter from a kid. It just messed up. Kids just shouldn't have to think about stuff like that.
So are you addicted to your addiction? Are you addicted to addiction? it's like when you stop. I'm not gonna throw anybody under the bus. I'm just gonna ask the question. Like when you stop smoking, do you start puffing? You know, the vaping. You know, you stop smoking. You're so addicted to smoking, and you got over that one. But then you start vaping, and because you're addicted to addiction, you get addicted to the vape. That's supposed to be helping you stop smoking.
I did
don't
it
know.
for
I
a
never
while.
smoked a day in my life, so.
God bless you.
I did it for a
Oh.
while.
Both my parents were both chain smokers, and it just, you know, as a child watching my mom, well, I call it cooking, really boiling anything for 45 minutes, but sitting there with a cigarette in her hand and in her mouth, and
Ashes
just getting
dropping in
on
your
the
food.
going like,
Ooh.
yeah.
I can picture that.
I know. And my sister Kathleen, who you know, she chain smoker, you know.
Yeah, and ladies, all you lady smokers out there, let me rewind. The spandex ladies, we got to do something about the spandex. I'm serious. There's some more fashions out there. There's a lot. I'd rather see you wear some kulaks.
What the heck is that?
I'm dating myself.
You're dating yourself.
Is that like
Kulaks was like shorts.
oh,
Skirt
okay.
shorts.
They were called kulaks back in the day.
Culottes. With the
Yeah,
T.
my mama had a whole bunch of kulaks.
Okay. La 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 la.
Okay.
But the other thing is though, smoking really takes that beauty away. I mean, smoking, all the blood vessels in your face die, and that's where those wrinkles. They're like
It wrecks your
creep
collagen.
in. Those wrinkles just creep in, and you start getting all wrinkly as you're talking like this. I used to smoke, and so here's another one of these things I'm talking from experience about. It's a horrible habit. Get over it. Stop smoking. It's a message from
All
our
of us.
sponsors.
All of us.
Message from all of us. Yes. Stop
well,
with the smoking. Man.
Before the show today, I had a friend ask me my blood type, and I was like, I don't remember, because she offered to give me half her liver, and I was broken out into tears.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
And I was like, wow. And I was like, well, I mean, I need a whole entire liver, you know.
Yeah.
Can they take half of hers and half of mine, or can they put them together?
Splice them.
No, it doesn't work that way.
Splice them
unfortunately,
together.
But it was a very moving, touching moment.
Very much.
You know.
Yeah. God bless her too.
And that's the people you should have around you. That's
Yeah. God bless her.
positive.
And it like I mean it
Yeah.
made my knees weak. Like I could almost not even walk. I was like shaking like joy, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's the things we take for granted, man. But that's the word. And you know, the thing about it is, I want to make this clear. There's some people who are learning about kindness and giving right now, but there's some people who've always been that way. You know, and you can tell the people who've always been that way. But it's okay to learn it. And because if you can learn it, if you can learn one thing when you come in and you tune in, whether you're surfing and you see my bright orange shirt and say, "Whoa, that's a bright orange shirt,"
That's a
and
bright
and you stop in for a minute and you hear me say that we love you. If that touches you and that gets you right on time, then that's what it's all about, man. You know what I mean? But I'm pushing. Me and my friend Justino Bambino came up with this term, kindness communities. You know, a thought or whatever it is, and that's what we want to put out there. We got to be kindness communities. We got to always be that. You know, when I was a kid, man, I was taught to take care of. You see an old lady, help them across the street, or carry their groceries for them, or whatever the
You
case
jump
might
and run
be.
and grab the door for
You know,
them.
run the door. I mean, you know, with the erosion of morals and ethics and all of that. I mean, we gotta get back right, man. We gotta. I mean, and parents, it's our job to teach these kids these things. It's not the teacher's job. And I guess you're finding out now, since you got to be the teacher, your kids are at home. You see what the teacher goes through every day with your
The
badass kids.
The teacher wasn't the problem.
You
so
know?
if the school does start back up next August, whatever else, remember that the teachers have to buy all the supplies out of their own.
Yeah, start
Out
sending
of their
some
own
of them
pocket.
supplies. Yeah.
You know, so when
agree.
when
Well,
you
can
when
you
school
buy them right now? Because they're not essential. You can't even stock
Yeah,
up right
we're
now.
talking about
But-
next year.
But when it does start back up, just remember that.
Go to the
Remember
dollar
all that-
store. Sure, go to the dollar store.
Remember all that hell you're going through right now with your kids going out. You love your kid, but you're
Yeah,
thinking,
yeah.
yeah,
Why I order.
Yeah.
Yeah, and think that teacher has 30 of them. Some teachers, 20, whatever the number. They're talking about obviously reducing class sizes, but 12
Or
Non-stop,
every day.
all day long.
you know what?
days a
Don't send them
week.
back to school next year. You just
Yeah,
homeschool
keep
them next year.
Homeschool them next
And the
year. You found out
after.
you loved it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's the ticket.
And then call into the show and tell us about your addiction.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be an interesting time coming up, guys, and I'm hoping that you guys are preparing. I'm hoping that the mindset that you're in right now is that this is a keen, opportune time for preparation. You know, for getting the cobwebs, your closets cleaned out and all that. You know what I mean? For cleaning some of those thoughts out. You know, stop being that person. Every time you open up your mouth, something negative comes out of it. Start thinking positive. Start spreading positivity. You know, and I don't mean that as some little catchword, positive, because that's kind of minimal to what it really is about. It's really about being human.
Well, and sometimes maybe you're not in the space that you can necessarily project, just positivity or conversation or comfort. But you don't have to be rude or you don't have to be nasty. You can at least be decent. At least have an attitude of decency and reach out to people, when you can.
Absolutely.
Everybody needs something. You might not be in the perfect spot, but you don't have to be in a bad spot.
Speaking of helping people out, what's up with Pastor Buck and stuff like that?
I gotta find out more. He did post something about he wasn't having such a great day. So all you guys that know Pastor Buck, make sure that you reach out to him. He's going through some trials up in Tennessee, but we know that all these things will pass, and especially if we just all come together and help each other. Speaking of which, let's not forget about Sean's liver transplant campaign. It has been up for a little while now, and it's going to stay up. We are trying to raise funds for CAT scans and other treatments and doctor's visits and so forth that are going to be very costly, that are not going to be paid for by his, whatever that insurance he's got is called.
Medically
Medically needy.
Yeah, it's a medically needy insurance. So we need help for him too. But reach out to Pastor Buck. I think Christy can, if you would you put that post that Sean's thing again? It's I haven't changed it yet, but it's still pertinent. I mean, just give, and the more you give, the more you get. God loves a gracious giver. Like really. And I gotta tell you, it feels good. I mean, I you know what? My mama and even my aunt reminded me the other day is that I think I've always been a giver. When I was, my aunt told me that when I was a kid and they would send me to the store, I would give the change away.
Here you go. I can see
it
that.
wasn't their favorite thing, but they thought it was cute, but it wasn't what they really wanted me to do.
I can see that.
But I mean, that's how you gotta give. If you got, you gotta give, man. Even if it's your last, I mean, if you got something and you can give it, just give it. If you can survive a little while longer than that person that goes without it can, just give it to them, man. I mean, it's not hard. I mean, you're always gonna be provided for anyway. I mean, that's what I'm finding during Corona. I mean, I'm sitting here and we've been good. We've been good during Corona. Yeah. Anyway, we got some sponsors that I think we should probably acknowledge.
And then
For a
after
minute.
that, you had a couple people asking me for the link for my liver.
I just
Spice up
posted
your
it.
Oh,
next
did you?
event with the Hammock Haven Experience. To find out more, go to thehammockhaven.com or call 941-201-5226. The Hammock Haven. Chillax a minute.
421 Sweet Treats is Anna Maria Island's sweetest little five-star cafe, located at 5337 Gulf Drive on beautiful Holmes Beach. For reservations, please call 941-281-2335. Life is sweet and full of treats.
POWarriors.com, the website that's dedicated to connecting our armed forces and first responders to businesses that appreciate their valor. For more information, go to POWarriors.com or call 336-501-0017. PO Warriors, protecting our warriors that protect us. Yeah, let's give a real big shout out to the Onico's Farmers Market. We're sitting in their establishment right now. They have an open jet, obviously, based on, a bunch of stuff, construction stuff, and then Corona. But they have been gracious enough to give us this space to do our show and to do some promotions for them and do some concerts, and also it's going to be really cool, and so we really appreciate them. Every time I see 421 Sweet Treats, I got to tell you guys, even right now, if you ever find yourself in the Anne Marie Island area, stop by. I think it's 5337 Gulf Drive. It's like right on the main drag there. Stop by because they are doing some stuff that you can take out with them. And if you saw in the number, or if you just Googled them, 421 Sweet Treats, you have to order them, but I guarantee you won't be disappointed. They have these pot pies that they make. I can't even begin to tell you the ingredients in them, but it ain't your Swanson's pot pie.
And he's doing burritos in the morning.
And he's doing breakfast burritos in the morning.
You're talking
and
like
Chef Brady, man,
marmalades and flavors.
This dude can cook, man.
Ooh.
This dude can cook. So yeah, go by and see him, and they're both awesome.
And for those of you out there that have not donated, for those who have donated, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Tomorrow is my birthday.
Happy birthday again.
So you could donate for that cause also.
Yeah.
So
I'll post
be
that
around
up
to have
there.
another one.
Yeah. Give him as a birthday present. And like I said, I know for sure, and especially during these times, that people are really concerned about putting out their credit card or debit card information. Just take that extra little step and either get yourself one of those pay accounts like Cash App, or you can do Zelle or whatever. But the safest way is to go to your local CVS or one of them stores or 7-Eleven and get a fillable debit card, a prepaid debit card, and it doesn't have your information on it. And you can use it online to do stuff.
And for those of you out there that hate Trump and you're going to get your stimulus check, he's not my president. Send me the money for that then. How you like them apples? I had to do that. Sorry, guys.
You should have your hat on.
Yeah, I was going to. It's in the car. I was like, yeah.
You should wear your hat, dude. I ain't mad at you. Should you believe in what you want to believe in?
There you go.
Anyway, so
The
yeah.
truth shall set you free.
Yeah. Tomorrow's the birthday. I guess we'll do a birthday show. I've been trying to get back to the normal schedule, but we'll do it from home, I guess. We'll do a birthday show of some sort so that everybody can wish him a happy birthday. Listen, every day is a birthday for this guy. You guys got to understand this, you know.
Every day
is a birthday, you know. Every day that he makes it another day is an amazing thing. I've lived through the whole thing. I'm talking about 20 years, okay? So, you know.
Drew, his son just came by to visit us, and last time he saw me, I was cooker doing Cocoa Puffs, and he's like, see me walk around, make my own sandwich, this and that, and he's like, whoa, wait a second here, you know.
Yeah.
Making money moves.
Yeah, things changed, man. They can get better, you know, and what you do have, make the best of. You know, it sounds very cliche and all that, but I got to tell you, man, just from my own experience, man, every time I ride down the street on my motorcycle, right, that I was graciously gifted to by Sean, thank you. Every time I ride down the street, man, I feel like this surge of just like blessing, and I'm in Florida, and the sunshine is out, and it feels good, and I know, and I know that when I get home, it's gonna be cool. You know, some people don't want to go home. Like when I get done doing what I'm doing when I'm out there, I look forward to coming home. You know, and so that's so as a result of getting clean. You know, I've always had a good life, but never had the opportunity to truly appreciate it. You know, even when I was down, I was one of those functioning ones. I really got down, really down, and that's a whole nother story. But there's been so many times in my life when I've had it really great, you know, and I didn't appreciate it. And so to have some appreciation for life, man, I gotta tell you, if you get nothing more out of recovery, that one thing is phenomenal, man. It's phenomenal, and that's the best thing that I can tell you today. Is that on the other side of recovery, it's like just enjoying life, man. Not being a slave to some substance, not being addicted to addiction. I'm sorry, Donald.
I think
Oh, you didn't hear it? Good.
I just told you yesterday, or maybe that was this morning, and I said it is crazy that you kind of come over that first month, or you kind of start regaining the desire or the motivation to do things, and not be like, oh, if I just go get high and get all this done and come back off. No, that's you now. You're finding you, and it's.
And I got to tell you, this is one of the happiest people I've ever seen in recovery.
He's on me constantly.
I
He's
said,
like,
you got to calm down with all this happiness. You just too happy. Is there such a thing?
But you keep telling me so.
It's not, though. I can't do a thing about it. It's just you.
I could be a complete
No,
biznatch, but
no, stay
sorry,
just
I'm
the way
happy.
you are. I just want to make sure you're not losing it.
You know, you got that, and you help take the trash out of the house.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I just want to make sure you know you're not going cuckoo.
No,
No, I see. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And you're having a great time with your son, and that's beautiful. You know, life could be beautiful on the other side. Life could be beautiful right where you are, but I tell you, God, it can be beautiful on the other side.
it's a whole lot less complicated. I couldn't imagine right now trying to be actively using, sitting in a room with you 23 hours a day. I mean,
What you're trying to say about me now?
I was an
I
individual.
thought I was easy like Sunday morning.
No. I was an individual user. I was a private user. So like, I can't imagine people actively using with a spouse or roommates, or everybody's home, and you're trying to run this, and I can see where a whole lot of tension can be in the air, and thankfully that's not anything I have to worry about anymore. And
We
it's beautiful.
didn't mention the home phone number also.
Just so you guys have it, and Don's got it. Just so you have it, and somebody call me and remind me to forward the doggone phone tomorrow, or Thursday, or whenever it is that we come back over here. But that number is 941
201
201.
5226.
It's trying to come up. There it
you
is.
go.
941 201 5226. 941 201 5226 is that number. And that's our hotline number. That's the number you can call at any time, 24 hours a day. Somebody's there to answer it. Well, not right now. Well, then when we forward it, we'll get it. But that's the number to call, guys. And if you just need somebody to talk to, sometimes that's the most important thing. It's like, you know what? I want to stop, but I just need somebody to tell me to. I need somebody to talk to. Talk to me. Oh, I know that feeling. Oh, my God. Just talk to me. I need to talk.
Well, right now, if you call the suicide hotline, you're put on hold.
Right.
So if you
Right,
guys
because
need
the
someone to
numbers
talk
are
to,
that extreme.
we're there.
Well, I guess in the same sense, though, it's at least there are people reaching out and trying to get some sort of counseling, something. At least they're calling.
Okay, and I'm gonna figure this out, Don, because I want to put all of my quotes on something that you can put them out there for me, please. And I guess that's not hard, is it?
No, because they love another person.
Those here's one. Those, and this is where addiction kind of fits in, right? It says those with a perpetual victim mindset tend to create the situations from which they suffer. You perpetuate it. People, you see, we teach people how to treat us. Okay? And if we've got a victim mentality, we're going to teach people that help me be a victim. And then more often than not, because of who we are as human beings, we're going to oblige. You know, and we're going to keep the cycle going. But we got to break the cycle. The cycle has to be broken. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no way around it. Okay? So don't be addicted to the addiction. You guys got any last thoughts? Christy? Sean, we got a minute.
Just once again, like I said, tomorrow, if you guys want to donate for my birthday or donate for whatever reason, any cause.
Yeah, you can find a link, or you can private message them and get the address and send them a check. Anything?
Good.
All right, guys. It's not your attitude. It's not your aptitude. It's your attitude that creates your altitude. Have an attitude of graciousness and kindness and peace and love and compassion. And what else is there? Whatever else there is.
There's love.
Love.
Oh, that one.
Peace.
Peace out. We love you guys.
You sailed away and left me with nothing to say. You already knew I would come searching anyway. So I sailed across the sea to see if you were there waiting for me. But you were not. So I said